So, my first ever social experiment, I got players from my Discord server to simulate civilization in the Wild West, where they would elect leaders, make businesses, fight bandit raids, and players can even be sent to jail. Whatever happened in this event was up to the players, and this led to an amazing story that you do not want to miss out on. And so, I bring to you the Wild West experiment. On day 1, all of the players that had joined this event had gotten onto a train. This train led to the only Wild West town within the area. When they pulled into the train station, all the players were also given a role and were told to give their ticket to Ryan, which probably wasn't the best idea. Like I said before, each player was given a role. They were given a book that told them their job in the Wild West. Players could be given jobs ranging from a banker to a farmer. As for me, I was given the role of a hunter, which had a couple things to it. I was given a starting kit, which Wilding took all the goodies from, and I was also given the coordinates to the location of a hunting zone. Other players on this day were also exploring their roles as well, such as the miner group, which were given pickaxes and the coordinates to the only good cave on the map. There were also the farmers that kinda just existed, and there were some players who weren't really assigned a role, which allowed them to move freely across the Wild West and do what they pleased. Now, I knew that one of the most valuable resources in the Wild West was in fact water, so I made a deal with the bartender that I would go to the hunting grounds, bring him back lots of meat in exchange for lots of water. He then would give me water so that way I could make it to the hunting ground. It was a great deal that we made. I then got the other hunters together, and together we were gonna go over to the hunting grounds. Once we arrived there, a man named Badar was over at the hunting grounds, where he was then jumped by a crocodile, which I had to kill. I was very confused on what he was doing here, so when I asked him, he then just responded with the guy that jumped me. Kinda suspicious, but I also didn't really care. He then proceeded to deal with the crocodile eggs, but I thought they could be useful in the future. And then we were jumped by a crocodile, so I dipped. Once we finally made it to the hunting grounds, we spent the entire day killing pigs, cows, sheep. If it moved, we shot it. Later in the night, Luca and Wilding would create a tune that we would listen to. Soon we ran out of clean water to drink, so we decided to head back to the Wild West town. Once giving the bartender his share of meat, he then decided that it was too little and decided to cancel the deal. I would then come back with Wilding to deal with this man for canceling the deal that we originally made. We would run into the bar, and with the goal of stealing the water that we were originally promised. Once we put Monkey Ball at gunpoint, however, he then decided to fight back. So things got really tense, really fast, but we'd end up stealing the water and then leaving with our lives. Didn't go far, however, when we saw that the banker had left a bunch of goods outside of the bank, and so we decided to rob the bank. But then Titan took the 2 shulker boxes containing all of the money, so we had our target. We then chased down Titan and put him at gunpoint and forced him to give us anything that he had. But instead of giving us the goods, he then ended up running for his life. So we'd end up chasing after him, and the whole town was completely confused what was going on. We would then corner him in a house, where we would tell him to give us everything important he had, in which he just gave us the rest of his food, which was okay with us at the time. We would then run away and decided to sort what we had gained from all of this chaos in the graveyard, but when digging things up, we found a chest containing some gear. That gear would be 2 revolvers, a sword, and some revolver ammo. Ryan would get fed up with all the chaos that we were causing, so he elected as Badar as the current sheriff of the town, in which he would supply Badar with tons of gear and a diamond knife, which does 11 attack damage. Then Badar would come hunting for me and Luca, in which we were hiding in the hunting house. We didn't really know what was going on, but with messages in the chat, we came to the conclusion that Badar was the new sheriff of the town, and he was after me and Luca. So we stored whatever important items we had in this brown shulker box, and then we would hide the shulker box for later, just in case. Soon, Badar would approach the house, and I would spot him quite easily. Not wanting to go to jail, Luca revealed to me a giant tunnel he had made that led to the mayor's house, in which we would go into the hole and manage to escape and not be found by Badar. And for the time being, he had no clue that we were at the mayor's house. While we were here, Titan would come into the room that I was hiding in, and I got extremely lucky with him not seeing me or be suspicious of the white wool that I had. Eventually, Badar would check the mayor house after movement was detected inside of it, so me and Luca once again would escape. We would make it back to the hunter's house, but eventually Badar would catch on to the pattern in our escape system, so we prepared for a final stand against him. After getting stabbed and taking a hit from the shotgun, I decided that it would be better to be captured rather than be killed. I would also yell to Luca to run for his life, so that way he could free me in the future if he ever returned. Badar would then take me to the town prison. On the way, he displayed to everyone that he captured the villainous survivor, and everyone would take a chance to make fun of me. Once I was put in the prison, my inventory would be cleared, and I was sent to adventure mode, not allowing me to escape, and I was finally put in the jail cell. Badar would ask me for any last words, in which I replied that I was going to burn down this town if it was the last thing I would do. While I was stuck in prison, an election would be held determining who would be our sheriff and our mayor. The sheriff would end up being Sturmanite, putting Badar out of office, and our mayor would be Corncur, who had to leave later in the day. While I'm in jail, I'm going to tell you guys to like and subscribe, as it helps me out a lot and helps me create content like this. Also, recently, something very interesting happened. I got a note from Santa Claus telling me that if I didn't get above 3K by Christmas, he'll send his elves to come and hunt me down. And if you've ever seen the movie Gremlins, then you know I probably won't survive this encounter. So help me survive by sending this video to someone who you think that would enjoy this video and possibly subscribe. And if you don't enjoy this video, dislike it, but let me know what I can do better in the comments. Anyways, have a good day, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Now on day 2, everything seemed very peaceful at first. I was now in jail, so everyone felt a little more safe, and miners could go out and freely mine ores. But things would soon change when Shinakol, the now co-mayor of the town, would be alerted that a bandit raid was coming to kill them. So they had sent the message around to build walls across the town to protect themselves from the raid. And in the mines, things were any better, as a horde of mosquitoes attacked Titan, and as you can see here, it is not a pleasant sight to be attacked by these things. Titan would manage to hold his own, but I do think this man was scarred after all of these encounters. Once walls were set up across the entire town, I was then challenged to a 1v1 by a man named Fate. He demanded water and ammo, so we made the deal that if he won the 1v1, I would give him his desired items. So we decided to do an iron duel. Please note, I was spectating at the time. Fate would win the first round, but I would come back and win the second fight along with the third fight. As a result, he wouldn't get any of the gear he wanted. As time was running out before the raid would arrive, the town would make final preparations, finishing the wall or gearing up. By the time the raid had decided to come, all the players would scatter to a position to defend the town. Once the players saw the raiders, they began to regret their decisions, and so the raid had arrived. completing the first raid, the players would head on back to the second wall, preparing for Wave 2. The sun would be finally out by the time it was Wave 3, in which the players would gather together and hand out what they had. What do you think about the raid so far?
They're too strong. This is busted. Bad raid.
I think they were enjoying this raid. Things would only get worse when it was time for Wave 3. The raid would have been finally completed and the players would rejoice as they didn't have to deal with the bandits anymore. But one player by the name of Fate decided he wanted to attack Shinako. Fate's plan would fail, but instead of keeping him dead, we decided to revive him and throw him into jail along with me. Sooner or later, he'd have a friend named Titan, who would also do the same thing Fate did. It was now the three of us stuck in this jail cell, and while we were in here, fire would brew outside of the prison. With you guys, I just heard someone light fire! Can I get food?
I have a gun.
Food and water.
Yeah, you guys are kind of bad sheriffs and deputies. Like, aren't we supposed to be able to eat?
Yeah, we're supposed to get
Bark?
No.
Bark.
No, don't bark, no.
Water?
Yes?
If you don't give us food and water, we'll fight each other.
No. Hey, you guys want to play like hot potato but with the book?
Sure.
Alright. This is riveting gameplay.
Wait, where'd you get the second one?
You guys hear that fire?
I heard
Yeah.
Fire? Fire? Freedom? Oh. What ended up happening was that Lacuna had arrived at the prison and set it all on fire, and in retaliation, Badar and Sturma would put out the fire and then fire a couple shots at Lacuna.
No, they're putting out the fire. What?
Freak. Their fight would last quite a bit, but Badar and Sturma wouldn't be able to stop Lacuna from setting the entire prison on fire. This brought absolute chaos to the entire prison, while me, Fate, and Titan were really excited to have a chance of escaping.
We're dying.
Freedom? Freedom? Are we gonna— Oh! Freedom! It's right there! It's right there! It's right there!
Don't punch me, Sturma.
No.
That's abuse.
Get him! Wait, get him!
Get him! No!
Sturma, look at me. Sturma, come to this corner and talk to me.
Yes.
No! I got the TNT!
Oh!
I got the
Badar was killed, and he was sniped by Lacuna. After hearing the gunshot, Sturma would arrive, in which he would get into a gunfight with Lacuna. Eventually, the fire would start breaking blocks, and as a result, we could now escape. Go! Run! Run! No! Run! Since we were free, we decided to run by the bank in order to grab a couple of supplies before we ran into the wild. While in the bank, we'd be visited by Shinako, and we would dip.
I got water in here.
Shinako!
They're here!
Being low on hunger and low on health, I prayed that no one would spot me as I headed for the woods, and by the time I reached the woods, I was starving, but luckily we were able to chop down some trees for some starter tools.
We're about to cause a revolution. Wait.
Somehow we actually made it to the hunting spot, and we rejoiced as we now had food to eat. And the entire night we would spend it just killing animals, and by the time it was day, we began chopping down trees to try to build a camp here in the hunting zone. Our plans would soon change as Sturmanite would show up to the hunting grounds. Somehow he escaped the eyesight of everyone here, and even managed to not get spotted by Titan, who was only a few blocks away from him. Unfortunately for us, this would result in Fate's death, as he was just chilling when he was sniped by Sturmanite. Thanks to the gunshot that had killed Fate, we had been able to find out that Sturma was here, and it would allow us to escape. We would escape to the coast, and here at the coast we would meet up with Luca Super, who gave us a few items, but we ultimately wanted him to spy on the townsmember. This would be so that way none of us get sniped or quick dropped by one of the townsmember's sheriff, just like Fate was.
Okay, Luca's in their call. Wait, we can get Luca to trick them.
Meeting with Luca reminded me of the brown shulker box that we hid in the hunting house, and so me and Titan made a plan to head out to the town just to retrieve these items. So we told Luca to tell the town's members that we were in the hunting zone, and while they were all gone, we began sneaking into the town and praying that no one was here. And we were lucky enough to retrieve the shulker box.
Oh my god.
We would then scout out the town for any more items that we wanted, but once we thought we had everything, we decided to run away from the town as far as possible. By the time the sun started to show, me and Titan had crossed a river and reached another island. This one was far away from the town, and it pretty much had everything we needed to start up and get some gear that could protect us against the town. We spent the rest of day 2 gathering bullets from the stolen boxes from the raids and creating a farm along with a water purifier, and that would conclude day 2. Day 3 was interesting because by the time the sun was setting, Lacuna would show up with an enchantment table, enchantment bottles, and enchanted gear, all of which was stolen from the town, so we assumed that the town was now pretty kitted out. And thanks to Luca's information, our assumptions would come true, but as the townsmen tried to escape on their own on day 3, they ended up blowing up the entire train and destroying the train track. So now they had to build a whole new train. And things were about to get worse as the Dust Bowl was now coming. This was not good news for the townspeople. And how the Dust Bowl would work is that I'd get the map, 2 cows, and then scatter the 2 cows across the map. Then the players would be given blindness and hunger and be forced to go look for the cows, or they would be blind and starve to death. This became extremely difficult for us, and to make things worse, the townsfolk actually found their cow first. It would take us a bit longer, but eventually Titan would find the cow that we needed to find.
Found it? You found it? No shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the milk.
Negative 400, negative 400, 100, negative 400, 100.
Negative 400.
Negative 400.
I can see! I
Wait,
can
negative-
see, and I just ate my last
Wait,
food.
negative 4.
Now that we could see, we now had to face a new problem. Food. We were extremely low on food, and we decided to go to the hunting grounds.
We do not. We need to go to the hunting ground.
Oh, alright. Let's go to the hunting ground, but we gotta be like very stealthy, very stealthy.
Yeah.
So we got on a boat, snuck onto the hunting grounds, killed some animals, and then we were back home. Not gonna lie, it was a bit anticlimactic. Now that we were back, I started getting those arson feelings, so we decided to go and burn down the Wild West town.
So
We
we
have
can
to-
go to the town and just burn it all down.
Now, while we were planning the arson crusade, the townspeople were doing a decent job on working on the train. They even had multiple mining strips set up to find iron in order to build the train that they needed. Knowing that they would be busy mining, we decided that it would be best to head out to the town now, and that is what we would do. In the morning, we would arrive near the train station, and in order to stay hidden, we hid behind some hills. But we would spot their enchantment glint, and we knew that they would spot ours as well.
I see them. Get low.
Get down.
Now, we were pretty sure that we were spotted, but the enemy didn't do anything about our presence. But we wanted to be careful, and so we decided to head on back, take the boat, and arrive to the Wild West to burn the town down. Me and Titan were extremely excited to get revenge on the town that had killed Fate, and so when we started the flames, there was no stopping us. I burned down pretty much anything that was flammable, and by the time we had reached further into the town, we were then caught by the sheriff and his gang.
Oh my God! It's the whole squad! Run! Go to the boats! Go to the boats! Go, follow!
I got a
I see them! I see them! Oh, go!
Once I
I am BB focused.
I broke their boat.
Yeah, there's two.
I go, run!
Run.
Run!
Go.
They're stuck.
We then decided to bring the group that was chasing us to our own home turf, where we would end up hiding in the trees and waiting for the sheriff and Lucas Super to come across us where we would fight them. But once they finally arrived and the two of them split up, Sturm and I didn't know that Luca was on our team, so when he took shots at me, all I had to do was shake my head and he immediately knew what to do. This meant that Sturm and I was all on his own, which meant the three of us could gang up on him and possibly kill him.
Run, or whoever's here.
Survivor, get him!
I'm shooting at him. Oh, okay.
Soup, Lucas on me.
Lucas on our team.
Aren't you on our team?
Alright, I just comboed this kid. Oh. Lucas. Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, we were not able to kill Sturma, but we did manage to land some shots on him while he was escaping. When it became daytime, we received information telling us that the town had almost finished the train, so we grabbed what we needed and immediately made plans to head on over. And as you can see here, the town's members were not kidding, they completed an entire train. But right next to it is a giant hole, so I guess they had some problem. Little did the town's members know that me, Titan, and Lacuna had actually showed up by the train station and we were watching their every move. The town's members, despite wanting to leave like right away, they couldn't figure out how to start the train, so we ended up waiting by the mountain for like an hour. One thing you probably didn't know is that Corncur got a monkey, and well, this is kind of what happened to that monkey.
Does he have a monkey?
Ryan.
Hey, Magarello. I'm gonna kill that gorilla.
We're sniping the gorilla.
See the monkey? I see the monkey. It's a gorilla.
Take
How
the
big is
shot! I
It's
know.
Take the
massive.
shot.
It's
Take the
massive.
shot.
No, do you
I don't have the shot at the moment. I'm gonna have to wait.
Oh my
The
god.
monkey should take the
Take
shot.
the shot.
Take the shot!
Shot.
I killed the monkey.
Yes! A lot of the players were actually really excited to leave the Wild West, but they couldn't figure out how to work the train, and so they stayed there for pretty much the entire next day. But eventually, Lucas Super and the driver of the train, which we had to hire, would figure out how to fix the train, and so the train would finally move and the finale would finally begin.
Oh, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving! Go, go,
No, no, don't go, 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 go!
Go, go, go!
I don't think we can hurt him. I don't think we can hurt him. Bozo, go break the track!
Ah!
Stop, stop.
Get it, break the track, break the track, break the track!
No, go get the other half.
Take the track!
Go get
It's faster than me, it's faster than me! No, no, no!
We tried to get aboard the train in order to escape the Wild West, but the train was too fast for us, and as a result, we would not be able to escape the West. But as for the remaining members who are with us here, we decided that they yeed their last haul. Fight him! Start shooting! Titan, get down! Alright, I'm trying. Oh, I got corned! I got corned!
I have one finger blue, bro.
I got him!
There, I'll be on here.
Is there...
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yes! I broke her boat too.
Yes! Oh my god!
Easy.
We had done it. We had won. We killed all the enemies that we had in our way, and the town was finally ours. But there was just one problem to that. The town was absolutely destroyed. Through all of our chaos causing just to get revenge, just to get freedom, we'd completely destroyed the town that we were now supposed to live in for the next few days until we could come up with a train of our own. And judging by our brain capacity, we probably couldn't make one. So we were stuck in the place we were trying to escape for the longest time. It's a punishment for causing crime and our punishment for freedom. Thank you guys very much for watching this Civilization event video. If you enjoyed, let me know by leaving a like and subscribe. And if you didn't enjoy it, let me know by disliking the video, but let me know what I can do better in the comments. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and here are the credits that made this amazing video possible.